Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing our playthrough on the PAX Prosperity server, hosted by the man, the myth, the legend, Doc, or Gaming with Doc as he is also known. Link to his channel down in the description below of this video, along with him and others on my main YouTube page underneath the friendly content creator section, so if you get the chance, definitely check them out. So if you want to, last time we had gotten some of the rails done in the bamboo forest, got him connected over to Mega Meaty Bacon Man's area, as well as we did a lot of the support stuff for that. A lot has happened over the last week and over the weekend. We got the rest of the supports done, as well as I got my rail built out into the Titan Forest, heading out to the swamp biome, which is hopefully what we're going to be doing today. We shall see, and maybe even we'll help out Doc with some logistics. I'm not 100% sure what his plans are, but we shall see. We shall see. Also, before we get started here, just real quick, a happy Spooktober to you all, and hopefully your Spooktober season is going well. Well, anyway, that's enough out of me. So let's go ahead and get on into this tour. Let's go. Alrighty then, so decided to do a little bit of a different style of tour here. Going to be trying out this format, see how people like it. So I made the Ping Players billboard for Doc, and he actually really did enjoy that. Hashtag I'm not sponsored, but he definitely is. So that's why I decided to make that for him, and made it into a nice billboard kind of blueprint, so anybody can put those down. And then over in the kind of hub area, Doc expanded the platform out, got a lot more containers and stuff going. And we decided to put a little bit of a glass cage around that rock down there. That's why there's a glass cage. Somebody put up a whole bunch of neon red, so that, you know, who knows who did that. It was it's quite funny though. But I decided it was missing something, so I decided to put a blueprinter on top of it with a little bit of a cage around it. Or a little bit of framing around it, really, and then got the cables and stuff going up it so that you've got your hover pack. It definitely helps out so that you can build your blueprints kind of carefree without having to worry about height limits or anything like that. And that's the biggest blueprinter we have, so that's why it's there. And then moving on with the other billboard, I decided to make a billboard for myself leading out to the Dune Desert, since that is my area. Maybe we'll make one for Mega Meaty Bacon Man as well. But yeah, even got a hypertube cannon that leads out there so I can get out there a little bit faster. But I have not been out there in quite a while, so the power is still on from the last time I checked. So, you know, it is what it is. But and then we move on to our spiral that leads into the Titan Forest, kind of following the footsteps of my single player here. This fits in there quite well doing it. This one I did a little bit smarter, not quite as dumbly, and it does fit quite nicely leading out to the Titan Forest and also to those other areas as well. And then also following in the footsteps of my single player, we also lead down to this 2-meter slope. This one's a little bit better built with the viaduct system into a T intersection, which is going to be leading out to the grasslands through that uranium cave. You guys know the cave I'm talking about. And then off to the left here, that's where we're going to be starting our build from the Titan Forest. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty then, and that's everything that had happened over the last week and over the weekend. Quite a lot of stuff has happened, which is quite nice. I'm very excited to get back into this. Get back into our rail building. So since we have finished the rail line, because we finished that last time, going out to Mega Meaty Bacon Man's world, which has gotten even crazier, by the way, we're going to be heading out to the well, we're going to be building out to that way. We're going to try and build our way out to the swamp biome, because we have a aluminum factory out there that oh geez, what the heck? That a certain somebody has built. Let's see. Oh, they just left. Yeah, I believe it's pronounced Edgestea. Yeah, had built a. They got some rail lines out here, I think, already. So we're gonna try and either weave in between and in and out, or we're gonna try and connect into. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's actually out there. I have been out there before. They got a massive like concrete castle going on with a train that needs to be delivering aluminum. So we're going to be building out that way. That needs to be built, and then after that, I believe we'll build out the grasslands a bit so that people can. There's a lot of people out in the grasslands that are building. So we'll have to connect to them as well. But this is my main concern. So this is as far as I got over the last week, or pretty much over the weekend. This is like the day before I started recording. So I was like, I just got to here. Just a quick little thing, because people were, because I'm going to have to do this here. People were wondering, how do I create these curves? So this little curve over here. As you can see, I'll show you the full process here just real quick. It didn't take very long, a few minutes. But basically we build this, this is a 5-degree curve right here. You can actually see the bend in it. And we're using the viaducts, which looks really nice. This right here, if you want to know what a 10-degree curve looks like, this is a 10-degree curve. So, it's more of a 45. It's not exactly 10 degree. These degrees are not accurate, but it's supposed to be every tick represents a 5-degree curve. I'll show you the ticks and stuff like that. So anyway, moving on. Let's go ahead and remove this rail. Okay, so first things first, when you're looking at building this rail, a curve, it doesn't matter if you're doing a curve foundation for a rail, or if you're doing curve foundation for like bridges for vehicles, or doing curve foundation for a building, for a factory. You can use this method for any curve building. This is just another method to have in your arsenal that creates a different kind of curve than any of the other methods. You've got the you've got the normal method where you start from center, the center curve, basically. I don't know what these are all called. I'm just going to give them random names. But basically you start out with a foundation there, and then when you want to turn it, you just hover over it with the new foundation, put yourself in zoom mode, just hold control, and you can rotate it like this, and then build out a leg. Then delete the center, grab a new one, rotate a bit more, grab another leg, and you can use that to build curve foundations and stuff like that. The other popular method, let's bring this up, is to go over here to architecture and grab yourself a. Now I do have a lot of mods, but this is done in vanilla. All the stuff I'm showing here can be done in vanilla just as easily. So because I use vanilla methods rather than trying to use mods to create my curves. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody doing it. It's just I just don't do that. So but yeah, you can use the catwalk intersection method. So you can grab this right here. Oops. Put this on the outside of your curve, and then you can hold control, and as you can see, it does rotate off the edge. And then you just put yourself in zoom mode, grab yourself 2 of those, put a foundation down, and then go like this, grab yourself 2 of those, and there you go. There you can create your curve like that. Now people have been saying this is a 5-degree curve. This is actually not correct. It's actually, the other method I'm going to show you is actually closer to a 5-degree, but this is pretty close. This is pretty close to a 5-degree. It's like somewhere between 5 and 10. Now you're going to notice, you can see that the corners aren't exactly perfect. You can get these perfect by doing a little bit of nudging and stuff like that, and you can. What the heck? Oh. You pissed off a nuclear hog, didn't you? You better run or you're gonna die. Sir, this is a roadway. I'm just gonna leave them be. But yeah, with a little bit of nudging, you can get these corners perfect, and it's just fine. It works just fine. Like I said, none of these methods are invalid or anything like that. but I will show you the method that I use for doing the rails, because this is actually really neat, really easy to do, and stuff like that. First things first, I'm going to get rid of this little wall here. And I'm going to get rid of this rail. It's actually better if you have a hover pack, but if you can't, you can do it on the ground. But for the video purposes, we're going to use the hover pack here. So foundations, we're going to grab a 2 meter because I'm using 2 meter for this particular build. So I'm going to use the 2 meter. 1 meter is definitely recommended because it's the easiest to nudge around, because you have to nudge it the least amount of times. And then the 4 meter, you have to nudge that one the most amount of times. You can do this with, I think we could do this with the half foundations as well and stuff like that. But yeah, for this purpose, we'll use the 2 meter. Turn on my flashlight. Yeah, you see the corner of this. I'm using concrete foundations because that's actually one of the easiest to identify exactly where to aim for the corner and stuff like that. Some of the other ones, the texture goes outside the hitbox, so it's a little harder to detect. But you're going to look at the corner. So what you need to do is, which way is your corner going? My corner is going left. We're going to curve around this rock piece here. I might need to go one more bridge out and then start curving. We'll see. But I'm going to be using the 5 degrees, so it might curve around there just fine. But yeah, so I'm going to be going left. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the outside of your corner. This right here is the outside of my corner because I'm going left. If I was going right, this side would be the outside of my corner. So you're going to find the outside, and you're going to find the very edge, which is the corner here. You're going to grab yourself whatever foundation you particularly want to use, and you're going to aim right at the edge here, but you're not going to place it. You're just going to, I'm going to put this in default mode because this is the easiest, especially with infinite zoop and being on the server, it can be a little buggy. So I'm just going to use default mode for this. But if you're building like in single player, zoop will work just fine. Especially if you're doing rail, you can just zoop too and be done with it. But I'm going to look at this corner right here, aim at that corner, and I'm going to hold control. And you're going to notice, usually if you haven't rotated anything during this session, it'll be like this. But you're going to notice when I hold control, it pops up on that corner. And if I hit the H key to lock it in, you can see it's right on this. This is why I use the concrete foundations, because they do give me kind of a center line on each foundation. You see this is perfectly on the center line, so that's how you know you're in, or you know that you're on exactly the corner. You can also just hold control and it'll kind of place like that. But if you place it just like that, you'll know you're on the corner if it pops off. So get back on the corner while you're still holding control, and you're going to rotate to your corner. So I'm gonna scroll up and go the wrong way. I'm going to scroll down and go the right way. And while I'm still holding control, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to hit the H key, and that's going to lock it in. So we've rotated it once. That's supposed to represent a 5 degree corner. Now that you've got that locked in, don't place it yet. You're going to nudge down the thickness of the foundation. So this foundation is 2 meters. So we're going to have to nudge it down twice. So we're going to go 1, 2. And now that we've got that placed, just like that, then we're going to nudge it over 4 and then out 4. So we're going to nudge it towards the inside of the corner 4 and then away from you if you're facing this way, but away from the corner 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. Now you can see, before you even place it, you can actually see this has got a perfect edge, perfect corner, just like that. And I'm just going to place that. And again, because I'm using infinite zoop and we're on a server, infinite zoop and servers don't really get along all that well sometimes. Sometimes they can be a little bit buggy. So I'm just going to use default mode to make this easy. And now you can see, now that I've placed those two, you can see this like a perfect corner. They're perfectly touching. Now with the other textures, they might not be perfectly touching, but with the concrete has the most accurate when it comes to the hitbox. So that's the reason I do that. And then I'm just going to grab this again. And usually it remembers that so this is a tick, by the way. So 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, 5 ticks, and so on. So 1 tick, 5 degree, 2 ticks, 10 degree, 3 ticks, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Now it's not exactly perfect. That's more of a 45 than anything. So the more ticks you go, the more severe the corner's going to be, and the more severe the degrees are going to be off. So that's just how it goes. Let's go ahead and reset that. And bam, we're going to lock it in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you start getting into the mood of placing decently, and you start getting good at it. Now it does look like I'm going to run into that. So we're just going to delete those. But that's basically the method. And also this is blueprinted, by the way. So that way I can just go boop. Yeah, I blueprint most of my stuff for rail. When it comes to building a rail, like a map-wide rail network, you definitely benefit from blueprinting. I know there's people that are strongly against blueprinting, and that's fine. I used to be as well until I started blueprinting, and then I'm like, now I blueprint damn near everything because I've switched to the dark side. But yeah, because blueprinting is it just makes my life so much faster and easier. It would take me forever to build all these. But yeah, so what I did was I built built the viaduct rail bridge last time. That was in a blueprint. I don't know if I ever showed off how to build that, but it was pretty cheap, pretty easy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to nudge this over to the other blueprint, and I'm going to manually place those. Because I had to go over somebody's road, went ahead and did that. So, and this, it doesn't really cost all that much. And like, you're wasting concrete going under the ground like that. I don't really care. It's quick, it's easy. I don't really mind. Like the stuff is infinite. Excuse me, sir. This is a rail bridge, not a spider tunnel. He was already very much damaged by the radiation hog up there. Hogs and spiders do not get along in this one, and I love that. I love that because that means the player's not always the going to be the target. All right, I don't have any nobelisks, so I'm just gonna cut down the forest. The forest is gonna disappear either way. I'm too lazy to make more right now. Or buy more, that's the case. Can sometimes be. We're trying not to buy a lot of stuff with tickets, so that is why. I might even have to go another. Oh, we could take a look, but I might have to go another thing, so oops. Just quickly once more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, you could use this to curve a foundation for a building as well. It's just if you're going to use this method, if you're going to use this method for a circular building, it is best to use this method throughout the circular section so that you don't have clashing methods going on. Because if you got clashing methods going on, it can be a disaster sometimes. That's basically that. Okay. Let's bring my rail. So I always like to bring one rail with me when building this, just so I can fly. Okay, now if you're going to do the viaduct method, I will tell you this. Always end in an even number for numbers of placed foundations. Like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Because if you end in an odd number, it's going to be very strange. I don't know if I want to... If I either have to leave it here or I have to go 2 more. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is the infinite zoop, by the way. I love infinite zoop. It just, like I said, it can be buggy sometimes. Yeah, we can go 2 more. Oh, radiation hog. Okay. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to go 2 more. Ah! Sometimes you move your mouse just slightly before you lock it in. Doesn't look like the Zoop wants to be buggy today, of course. Of course, when I go to show somebody, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Like, it's buggy. Sure it is. Damn. Okay, that's actually perfect. That's where I want to go. See that tree right there? There's actually a cliffside right next to that tree that I'm going to follow a curve around. But right before, or probably right after, what we're going to do is we're probably going to go up slightly, and then we're going to tee off because we need to go through the Titan Forest with one direction, and then the other direction needs to go that way. That one goes down to the swamp. So I hear a thing. All right. So here's the next portion of this tutorial. So this is the reason I haven't like skipped over. Dang it. Give me power. Stupid rail. All right. So when we come up to this corner, you're going to wonder, how do you place your rail lines in order to follow the foundation perfectly? What you're going to do is you're going to go up to the foundation before it curves. So this is the foundation before it curves. You're going to place it in. So if it's a 5-degree corner, it's going to be exactly in the middle of the foundation. That's where you're going to start your curve. Yeah, what we're going to do. And I like to do this as well, even if I'm building straight rails. Oh, there goes my power. I deleted the thing I was connected to and the game got mad. So I always like to come up to where I'm going to start my curve, and then I'll do that just to straighten it out. Okay, and then we're going to stop there. Why don't I have power? The game says I have power, but I doubt it. And then I'm going to go to the middle of that foundation. There we go. Now I can fly over there. But yeah, so I'm going to go to the middle of the foundation, to the foundation that goes right after, to where you're going to go straight, essentially. Now, not the one before you go straight, the one as you're going straight. So this is the one we're going straight off of. And you can see that when you do that, it follows the middle. Now, as the corners get tighter with more ticks, like 10 degree, 15 degree, and such, your rail line is actually going to end up. So let's say you're doing the 10 degree one. Your rail line is actually going to end up further in. So you might go to here, for instance, and then the next one you might go to here, for instance, and the next one, as it gets tighter and tighter, you're going to go closer and closer to the actual foundation that starts turning. This is because what that'll do is it'll give you a tighter curve. What it'll do is it pushes the rail into the curve more to keep it away, to basically keep it away from the sidewall that we're putting in here. I guess it doesn't really matter if you're not too particular. Just go with whatever you feel looks best. And then, of course, since this is a custom corner, yes, I could blueprint this, but doing corners in a blueprint is really tough. Especially, I mean, with the viaduct one, obviously it would be pretty obvious just to do like a twofer right here and then call that a day. But sometimes I don't want to do a twofer. Sometimes I want to do 5 foundations, or I want to do 7 or 9, and I don't want the viaduct thing. So, you know, yes, I could build that in a foundation, but this is just way quicker. It'd be just as quick as to put down a foundation, because you'd have to nudge the foundations into place and stuff like that anyway. So it's like, for what I'm doing, I'm not really too particular. I'm doing a foundation for that, but here's the viaduct corner, just in case you were wondering. And like I said, I did go ahead and put it into an even number so that my viaduct ends perfectly like it's supposed to. And then I just pull a half foundation downwards. And for curves, I'm not too particular on doing them with or without a blueprint. when it comes to going, going straight long distances and stuff like that, it's good to have a blueprint set. And I can't do intersections until we get the Mark III. And I've actually, even in my own single player game, I still haven't even gotten to phase 5 yet. I actually haven't been on my single player game in weeks at this point. We'll call it a month. Yeah, I've been pretty busy with other projects. That's why I haven't been back on it yet. And I'm actually cooking up something, hopefully that'll come out soon eventually for it, so we can get back into that. But it's a little up in the air and uncertain at the moment. And I got somebody helping me out with it. They just kind of started helping me. And it was just like, okay, I'll take that. Let's cut this down. Anything that interferes with the viaduct must be removed. Alrighty, perfect. That rail's too close. Or that tree's too close. Goodbye, tree. Yeah, and then these are just 1 meter walls. Oops. Actually taking radiation damage. There are no filters. I'm just gonna... So I put this in zoop mode. Yeah, there you go. That's how I build those 5-degree curves and 10-degree curves and stuff. Especially with the viaduct stuff. That's just how I do it. And it works great. Even with the walls. The walls they've got a slight little bump on the outer edge, and as you go tighter, you're going to notice this a little bit more, but who really cares about that? You're flying at 120 kilometers anyway, usually. Alrighty. Now I just got another 1,000 kilometers of rail to build. Let's go. Alrighty, so we finally got ourselves up this way, which this is the tree I was talking about, by the way. And we got ourselves our little intersection here. From here, it's going to be custom rails, because it's kind of a custom hill, because it's not exactly straight, as you can see here. So we're gonna have to bend it to the left or to the right. I don't know my left from my right. Bend it to the right a little bit, go down the hill for a little while, and then we're going to come back up the hill. So why not just go straight across, is because I kind of want to follow the terrain. Not 100%, but I do want to follow it somewhat, at least so that we can be decent about it. To the extent of what you would normally see, I would think, with this style of rail line. And then we're going to make our way over here. Now this is where it's going to get tough, because somebody has built a factory in the normal place that I oh, somebody doesn't have any power out here. Stuck. They have built a factory in the same position that I usually build my rail lines. Looks like they built a silica factory. Is silica out here, or is this just a... Let's see. Ooh. Let's go take a look. I don't know whose this is. It's kind of like a dark gray. Not really sure. Oh, this must be Agistaeus, because this goes out to her thing. Didn't have any power. I guess her quartz crystal. And there's the area we're trying to build down to, as you can see here. They're trying to build a castle out that way. So, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. And we're going to be building a rail line from over there. You see that cliffside right there? We're going to be building a rail line from over there, or a rail bridge from over there to over there, is it? Or is it over there? I actually don't remember. It might be to over there. Or it's over there. I do not remember. I know it goes this way, though. Maybe it doesn't even go that far. Maybe it does go to there. Say, I do not remember exactly where that rail line goes. Yeah, this is a huge freaking place, though. They've been at work for a while. And then, yeah, we'll have to figure out how to hook up their train line. as well. That's okay. That's a long ways from now, but yeah, the reason we're going across here though is because we're actually going to re-link back up with the rail line that goes through the Titan Forest. So in the Titan Forest, we're going to be going through the Titan Forest, and then we're going to end up right at the right where the Desert Canyon starts. Like the very beginnings of it. There's actually a water node there to get water. And in that spot, we're going to be linking up these two rail lines, because we're going to have multiple rail lines that go across the map. It's not going to be one rail line that goes across the map that every train has to use. Because if we do it that way, then we're going to have, eventually we're going to hit a point, kind of where I hit my single player a little bit, where too many trains are trying to take the same line. And since so many trains are trying to take that same line, they end up causing traffic jams. Where, you know, you got 10 trains waiting for one train to cross an intersection, and then once that train goes, then you got 9 trains, and then 8 trains, and then back up to 10, and then back down to 9, and it just keeps going and going and going, you know. So we definitely want to figure that out at some point. Ooh, there's a summer slip in here. Excuse me. Ah! F you. Get out of there. I almost had it. Oh, the other one's coming. Go away. Alright, we better grab it quick. Got it. I'm out of here. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Ow. I was saved by electricity. Okay. I thought I was dead. I thought that. Well, this is it. Goodbye, cruel. I can't speak today. We'll go to there. Go to there, and then we'll make our intersection. So we're making a T-junction here. So this is the rail line that goes on through the Titan Forest. This is the rail line that goes down to the swamp. Now, eventually, both rail lines will end up at the swamp as well. So, like I said, I want to have. There's multiple rail lines that are going to be going through different areas. So, just to make it nice and quick. You could throw a train down and it'll pick the fastest route. There'll be multiple. Alrighty. Yeah, Doc's still on here. He's doing his stream now. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stream to YouTube, so I wasn't able to watch him, but that's okay. I'm kind of debating. I think I want to go down. Oh my gosh. I think I want to go down one more and then like turn, because I don't want to get too close to this building here. I'm trying to build around it essentially, so yeah, things are going well. We're making quite a bit of progress. I don't think we'll get down to the swamp biome today, but I think we'll definitely get down to, I don't know, maybe down to the SAM node down there. I'm not really sure, because we're going to have another split there as well that goes off to the Blue Crater. That'll be nice. Alright, so just very slowly making my way down this hill, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a custom corner here. So as you guys have seen before, we're going to do our custom corner with our 1 meter slope, just so it looks nice. And I'm also going to put less supports in the water here, so that we don't ruin, you know, too much of the water view, I guess you could say. I mean, we'll have a rail line going through it, but there'll be a lot less, you know, obfuscating the view, I guess you could say. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what that means. I don't think I used it correctly is what I meant to say. I don't think I used that correctly. Okay, I'm going to pull this down here so we can continue flying, because I don't want to end up in the water. Alrighty. So we're going to... I don't know if we're going to take out that tree. That tree is really nice right there. The reason I have to be a little bit careful. It's not clearly marked or anything. It's not clearly built around, so we're just gonna Sorry. I do try to be a little bit careful when it comes to around people's stuff. It's like I don't want to ruin their day by taking down a tree, because I mean we can repopulate that tree. It is possible to make that happen. Okay, so what I'm probably gonna turn it a little bit more. Try going down a little bit more. I want to try and scooch up against this. Yeah, like scooch up against this thing. Okay, I might level off here actually. Let's see what happens if we level. Now, if we're going to level off, we're going to have to do that. So, okay. Now that we got the rail line in place, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some architecture, grab the small pillar support, snap it to the edge, just like that. Then we're going to grab a normal 2-meter foundation. And I'm going to do this like this. This is so I can delete the other piece. Then go underneath it. We might have to nudge this down. We'll see. Just because we don't want it to dip down and then level off. Basically, and that's probably what it's going to do here. If I had to guess. Actually, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Okay, so we'll drop it down 2 meters. And a side to side, basically. You see how it kind of dips down and then it starts to level? I just want it to level. I don't... Oh... This is what I'm talking about with infinite zoop on servers. Infinite zoop on servers does not work. I clearly did not have that aimed all the way back that way, but it decided to do that anyway. It is a little bit buggy when it comes to servers. Luckily, this one wasn't bad. I had one that was really bad, and it was not great. Well, I suppose that is the definition, isn't it? Yeah, it was not a good day. So, all right, let's see if I can do this. No, it's not gonna let me do that. Okay. And I should have power from this building, luckily, nearby. Okay, but if we lower it down a little bit... Okay, I'm going to have to get rid of the slope so I can see it. Now that we've lowered it 2 meters. I mean, it is steeper than a... It is steeper, isn't it? Maybe we go up a bit. Because I don't want to go steeper than a 2 meter just to level off, you know what I mean? Maybe the 2 meter was better. Yeah, it does go slightly steeper. Okay. So we'll go higher then. Got 2 meters higher. I mean, being elevated above the ground is not bad, so not too worried about it. I just don't want it to... There we go. That's what we want. Okay. So you can see how the 2 meter... You can see how the 2 meter... Or the 1 meter slope, sorry. See how the 1 meter slope stays a 1 meter and then it kind of just gradually goes level? That's what we want in our curve. That's exactly what we want. Okay. That is... Let me get rid of that. That is exactly perfect for that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to... see if we go straight here. Actually might turn this a little bit more, just so... Just like give it a tick turn. And then we can go off this way, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way, level, and then we're going to curve slope down that way and then make our way around. So basically I'm going to be building over the top of this node right here, but we're going to put a train station down because we're going to be building over the top of this. So I'm going to put a train station down on this node specifically. And then if we want to bring more stuff up, we can. And then we'll make our way through that way as well. Don't know where this coal is going. Who built this? Oh, he built this. Yeah, you're not supposed to really build mines and then drag it all across the map. Alright. Let's go ahead and make our way down this hill. Alrighty then, just making our way down this hill here. I was debating getting rid of this, but I was like, is it really all that? Do I really need to get rid of it? I'm not really sure. Might bring it up a bit so it's, you know, a little less of a, I don't know. Trying to bring this to make it work is being a bit of a pain in my butt. Sometimes these hills are, when you're going straight to a 2 meter from a flat into a curve, it always looks weird. And then I keep losing power. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of all that crap. I'll have to go back to the hub here in a minute. Okay. Sir! Get out of here. Yeah, we'll go flat there, and then... that looks a little better. That looks much better. I mean, it is steep, but it does work, so... We put a flat spot here in case maybe... I don't know if we could put like we could make like an intersection here or whatnot, but basically I'm trying to keep as low as possible to the ground level with our steepness, because I know how long this slope is going to be. So I've built this slope many times. And also I thought I was building too close to this ore mine, but then I forgot that somebody used infinite nudge. So the person that's mining this coal right here is actually, so if you try to put down a thing, if we go to production, we go to miner, you try to put down a miner, see how I can't put it down on the coal mine here? It's not because of the foundations, it's because the coal mine is in the building. So if we go in here, this is where we were before. I should have a back door on this side. I have kind of gotten rid of the view. I think I'm gonna get rid of like half of these pillars. But yeah, you can see the coal mine. There's one in here, and I bet the other one, yeah, the other one's just kind of here, and there's no coal node there. So basically, what they've done is they've used infinite nudge to get it into this spot. So then they're mining. They're mining the coal, following the rules and such, which goes straight to a truck station. Which this truck is having some issues. Sure. I mean, it works. So yeah, there's that. There's a parking spot, and then this is their roadway. They didn't want to use the the roads. They wanted to do it old style. It's like, okay, I mean, whatever you like to do. Now, unfortunately, because we're going into a 2 meter slope, we can no longer do that. So you see how this is done like this with these particular pieces here. I mean, we could do this, but I think we have to turn them. But yeah, you can see even with the 1 meter, you do get a little bit of clipping into the rail here with the steps. Yeah, you do get that little bit of clipping to follow this. Now we can do this, like I said, we can do this with the 2 meter. We just have to turn the beams essentially. So yeah, and I just kind of wanted a little bit more of a gradual slope than I had, which was the foundation slope piece from flat to 2 meter, and that just does not work. So we're gonna go half into here. Actually, what we could do is we could bring this down. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down into a normal bridge. We'll go like this with our pieces. So it's like a little flat bridge essentially. And then What the heck? What's going on here? Oh. They don't follow that. Whoops. That's right. I did turn it more. And I forgot to account for that in the foundation. Or forgot to account for that in the beams here. The pillars. Okay, I don't want to delete that. Just this. Just this, please. Oh, jeez. Let's go ahead and get rid of these foundations here. I kind of want this to be a rolling piece. Or a rolling, I think that's straight. Yeah, that's on the straight piece. Okay. So we'll go from there. Then we'll just draw this across. And then what I'll do is I'll double it up like that. Get rid of those two pieces. Put that like that. Put that like that. Okay, now we should be able to go to a straight piece and it follows. Let's get rid of the foundational deck. So we no longer need it. Right, these are double. Yeah. Now, yeah, we should be able to pull this along here. Where does that? Okay, we'll go one more. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll just run this down. Kind of like just a little mini bridge, essentially. So I don't have to put foundations all the way across there. We'll get rid of it, put that in there. Swap these out for the end piece. There we go. What we'll do is we'll get rid of this. Because we no longer need that. Okay, and then what I wanted to do over here was I wanted to get rid of some of the supports. I think there's just, after I built it, there's just way too many. Yep, and then we'll get rid of this one here. It's like building a highway over your private lake. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, and then so we'll just get, and then we'll go straight into a bridge that goes across here. And that works. Nice. Now these are close enough. I could probably spread it out a little further, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, let's get rid of that. Alrighty, and there's our bridge. So now we can go down these slopes. Now that because like I said, I wanted this to be kind of a continuous type deal. So we're gonna go 11 of these. So this is how I build these, by the way. So we go 1, put this in default mode. 2, and I'm using the outside corner because that's going to be the lower portion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, no, we're getting really close to the ground here. And then 11. Okay, so that's where our piece is, and then we drag this across. Now you're going to notice when we drag this across, this is why it's really tough with the 2 meters, because look how much clipping there is. Yeah, we can't have that. So what I'm going to do is we could either put it up on one of these like we have in the past, one of these small pillar supports, or we can do this. Basically rotate it once, and then there's a heck of a lot less clipping. Now, it's not exact. That's like 1 rotation as well, which is 2. Well, actually, 1 rotation is not quite enough, is it? And 2 is too many. Man. I mean, we could easily since I know this is a straight, well, it's not a straight slope. I was gonna say, since it's a straight slope, it's actually not. We could do it down there though, with some beams and such, but let's see. Yeah, we'll go with the one click, I think. And the one click should be, yeah, that's pretty good actually. It's not perfect, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, and then that's basically what we do. I forgot to, whoopsie, I forgot to add the rest of the, it's like, yes, you do gotta add the rest of this. Default that. Yeah, and then we can pull that across. Okay, there we go. And we use the rest of these as basically guides. So like that. Just that across. There we are. Very good. And we just do that for the rest of the slope going down this way. Okay, so Doc decided to change up his little design here and started removing the big boxes up there, but his inventory is full, I think. And because I just found a random box all of a sudden. This definitely was not here a little bit ago. And I've been trying to empty it. It's full. That's the reason. That's the only reason I think it's his, because he's over here removing stuff. I've been trying to help him clean up a little bit here, and I was just like, what is this random box over here? Because I was flying back, and I'm just like, oh, I was building out that way. What the heck? So yeah, I'm just gonna have to throw this box down and put a bunch of stuff in it. So if you place it like this, yeah, that's definitely his. I need 200 of those. Oh, I hate splitting like this. Yeah. 200. Split. Need that. Actually need that for to be able to put down the store. So we'll go over here. Yep, so I've just been kind of ferrying items back and forth. I built an emergency sync system for the train station, so that he can empty out his stuff. And of course, if anybody ever needs it for some reason, like they're dropping off stuff but it's not getting sorted, like the entire system's blocked up. My inventory wasn't full of AI limiters. Actually, I could throw AI limiters at him, I suppose. He'll probably get them sorted. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do. So, yep. Just, burying the items here. We don't need to do quartz crystal for right now. Quartz crystal can go, because that's already been fully sent through. Concrete. He was doing plastic. I think iron plates is being sorted, or is already full as well. So I'll send that way. And then I'll throw AI limiters in this one. And I'll keep a stack of those. Maybe two. Maybe two, because I use a lot of AI limiters and a lot of the logistics stuff. But yeah, I think because what it does is it tries to, when you remove a bunch of stuff, it puts it in the nearest dismantle crate, or if there isn't one, it'll put one down It should put one down nearby if there isn't one nearby, but maybe this one was already here, and I somehow missed it. That could be definitely a thing. There's so much stuff in here. So funny. So freaking hilarious. It's like, because he's like dismantling it, I'm sure, and it's like, he doesn't know where it's going. Like, what the heck? Oh, boy. Alrighty, now that we've helped Doc with his lost crate situation, we managed to clean it all up and got all of his stuff over here, which then he put into the system. We actually had to put the entire system on emergency sync. I don't know what to call it, program? Maybe emergency sync program or setting or whatever. We got the emergency sync settings, so if you look into here, this one is any. So basically what you do, you can't, now I tried this, but you can't do this, unfortunately. You can't hold control and replace it. However, you can control C and then control V, and it immediately starts to sync. The one thing with servers that I've noticed is they seem to just leak out all over the place, which is kind of sad. Let's go ahead and set the normal settings for that. And actually, this emergency sync actually kind of presented an opportunity that should these boxes get full of stuff, it just immediately starts sinking the train. Basically an overflow of sorts. This should never happen because this system will constantly be working through. But at some point, I would imagine we're going to have so many trains coming here that it's going to be a problem. Now, Doc wants to also export from here, which when you're exporting from the distribution center, that's going to be a little bit harder when it comes to trains, because trains, in order to send items from or to a factory, each factory has to have its own train station configured in order to make that happen. So let's say we got a factory out in the Dune Desert that needs something from the mall. That's fine, and that's all well and good. However, we have to put it on its own train station, because we can't just have a train station that looks like this and outputs to different factories, because factories are going to end up getting what they don't need, because we're going to be putting all kinds of different items in there. So basically, I'm thinking this area would probably be good for an export, and I actually have an idea on how I can make that happen. We could do 5-car trains at the maximum. Oh boy. I'm trying to explain something here. But yeah, I think that could be, that could definitely work. As long as Doc doesn't mind destroying scenery. I'll make sure I confirm it with him first. But I think that could definitely work. Basically expand out this way, and then we'll put in a train yard that houses a crap load of train stations we can send out to different factories. And these trains, we could do 10-car train stations, or 5-car train stations, but have up to 10 or have up to dual train stations that are like back to back, so that we can send them out, and then we can put even more in here, because we got a decent amount of room in here. I'd imagine we'd have enough room. But I think that'll definitely work. We'll have to use this room. Of course, we got the cliffside here, but we have also got a lot of like annoying edges and stuff like that we'd have to deal with. But I'll definitely ask him to see if that could be a possibility, because I know he wants to export. But exporting is going to be a little bit more complicated than importing. Importing, you just put it onto a sushi belt, essentially, the way this system is working. Oh yeah, so the sync system does go underneath as well. And this is what, some of this is, like, this is kind of a joint operation we got going on here, me and Doc. But basically, the emergency sync system does send stuff down here, and this is on its own sync. This, we need to have this separate, because if we have it tied into the original set of syncs, then it becomes a problem, because then it just ties up the system even more, essentially, when it starts sinking and trying to sink. So the emergency sink system does have its own sink set, so that way it doesn't mess up the original system. Oh, and Mega Man crashed the server. Good job, man. Alrighty, now that we're past we got past the crash and stuff like that, let's go ahead and finish the tour of this place. So with this particular build, this is Doc's creation. This is his mall. So he decided to relocate, which is the whole reason why all of that stuff was happening. Because over here was just too inconvenient. I mean, my original plan, if I didn't explain this yet already, my original plan was to basically have these two sink lines. So anything that was filled up here, have these two sink lines then merge into the rest of the system, which he decided then to relocate everything. So that's perfectly good there. Since he relocated over here, it's actually more convenient. I would definitely say. Having this stuff so around the outside of the mall here, you can grab whichever item you feel you need. I'd imagine eventually this is going to hit multiple levels, and his logistics floor is going to get a little crazy. It already is kind of crazy. So if we go in here, this is his mall. So here's all the crates. They're being fed from beneath, which we will go beneath real quick. And oh, what's this door? This is my original logistics floor here, which is just underneath. This is just for the sink system. Wait a minute, why are these marked 4? Did I accidentally make those mark 4? I think I did. There we go, mark 5. Those need to be on mark 5 in order for the system to operate properly. To operate properly for the outside system. Okay, those all look good. Which these are the sinks that go down through here. These are all the stuff that's feeding into the mall. This is all the stuff that Doc did. And then if we come over here, this is the emergency sink system I was just telling you about. It goes down below the train station, comes out through here, and goes to these. Now, why does it go to an extra pair of sinks and not to the original sinking lines? Which we could have easily took this and merged it into this, sure. But the problem with that is if you're sinking here, the reason for this sink to be happening at any point is because the system is overloaded. And if we refeed that back into the system, then the system just becomes more overloaded. So we can't put that into the original. We can't put that into the original system. It's just, what is this line doing? It's just not going to work, unfortunately. So, what is that line doing? It's a very interesting line. So that's the reason this is on a separate set now, because of Doc relocating and like basically overloading our entire sorting system. What we had to do was we had to put emergency sinks on this train station, as you can see here, in order to make sure that he could basically put everything into this system so he could test all the filters, which he needed to test all these filters. So that is the reason why he did that. Was to put it through the system as if it's coming in on the train, and then it goes through the sorting system, and then he could basically work out what all the stuff he didn't need, or what all the stuff he hadn't made filters for, and basically anything that was in the original mall, he put it into here. So that is the original thing for that. So we put the emergency sink system. So if you come over here, this I designed this for a copy paste system. So we got the emergency sink. This is for the train station sinks only. Do not touch any other. Actually, that should be. That should be. Splitters. Did I spell that correctly? Probably not. No, I did. Splitters. gosh, yeah. So this is for the train station splitters only, the emergency sync system. This is the settings. So basically, the way you make this work is you go ahead and look at this and you hit Control C, and then you hit Control V. I'm not going to Control V it, but basically that'll paste the settings into here. You can also paste them in the UI if you like. Basically that tells the system, okay, everything from this train station needs to be dumped. Right now it's set on the normal setting, which is it's got the overflow. So because that presented that opportunity for having a emergency sync, that also presents the opportunity to have a little bit of overflow in case the system gets overwhelmed for any reason. So for any reason, if the system decides to just stop working and fills up these boxes, the train stations can continue to unload anyway, and it'll still at least get sunk at the very least. It's kind of an emergency stopgap system, or a kind of a fail-safe, because some people are going to rely on trains being dropped off here. They're going to rely on that product being removed from their train in order for their factories to keep working, especially if you've got like system loops and stuff like that, or if you've got special alternate recipes that are working together that need to offload a certain extra product that you're sending to the mall, and that needs to get removed from your factory. I would definitely put syncs on it if that's the case. I definitely put syncs on your own factory, just so you're not relying on somebody else. But yeah, that's also in case of that as well. So yeah, if these boxes get completely full, it will just start sinking. That way the train still gets unloaded. And then we get twice the amount of tickets at that current moment. Especially if like this box full of Quickwire. If this box ever gets full, which it probably will, because Quickwire stacks up to 500, so it takes forever for it to get out of the system. It will eventually start overflowing into this, and then will be like it. Lexi is sending us so much Quickwire that our system keeps getting clogged because of it. Because, and the reason is because the stack number. It's because the stack number is 500, and 500 just causes the system to kind of spill over itself because it can't unload quick enough. Plus the very closeness of the train station. Their train station, or Lexi's train station, is only right here. Probably where that icon is, roughly. So it's only, yeah, it is right here. It is right there. Okay, so that's Lexi's train station bringing in Quickwire and cable. And we end up with a little too much Quickwire, just because of how the quick succession of unloading. That train doesn't bring in very much Quickwire, but it does add up over time. So I kind of dumping the excess Quickwire when if this box ever gets full, it will dump the excess. It's same with all of them. If those boxes ever get full for any reason, and they can't merge into this, at least the train is still processing at that original 1560 and not slower. So whatever the case ends up being for any type of situation, the train station will offload at 1560 per car. It'll offload at 1560 no matter what. So, kind of fail-safes built upon fail-safes, essentially, with this system. It's overwhelming. I never really had issues with this with my mall, and the reason I didn't ever have issues with it is because my belt loop was so long that, and the train station had a decent amount of belt before it started to, it didn't immediately go into a box. Immediately into a splitter and stuff like that, and everything was so long that it kind of just works, essentially. The belt loop is just too long to overflow. Alrighty, well, let's head back over there and see how much more rail line we can get done. Alrighty then, we finally made it to the bottom here. Got all of this placed. We've got an extremely complicated intersection, as well as I've got a SAM node being mined up here. Now, in my single player, I did send a whole bunch of SAM in this area to this train station. I suppose if it's approved, maybe we can make that happen, but What I did was I used the rail line as my infrastructure for those belts. That may not be approved, though, unfortunately. We'll see, though. But, yeah, we got the SAM down here. We've got all of the supports for this side of the rail line, and I've started making my way down there as well, which looks pretty good. And if you come down this little spot right here, the SAM mine, you can come down this way, go down this way, and go through here. And you can see it's actually mining SAM. Now, this is an impure node, so it's only doing 150 per minute, which is pretty sad, because this is in a prime location for getting SAM ore. It's only 150, though, unfortunately. But I did give them up to an option of a 5-car train if they want to try and pull that much. That'd be insane, but, you know, if you want to, it's fine. That looks good there. We're butted up against somebody else's coal node there. That's okay. This one's going to go out to the blue crater as well as reconnect in on the kind of south side of the Titan Forest into that kind of no man's land, kind of deserty area. That's just got a bunch of trees, like these orange trees, but it's all like kind of deserty, and there's like nitrogen gas and stuff over there. So we'll get that, that'll be where that side connects, just like in our single player if you want to see that. That was a long time ago, though. But yeah, we're making our way down to the, down to there. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out, and it looks pretty good. So I think I am going to go ahead and leave it here. We've made a lot of progress. We've made from the Titan Forest down to here, which doesn't seem all that much work, but this takes so much freaking time to do. I tell you, it takes a lot of freaking time. I'm gonna get rid of these foundations. But yeah, this is looking pretty good on here on the PAX Prosperitas server. So we're gonna, yep, that's pretty much that. So yeah, just a quick little reminder though, for you who'd like to check out Doc, or Gaming with Doc, as he's known. His YouTube channel link is down in the description below of this video, along with him and others on my main YouTube page underneath the friendly content creator section. So if you get the chance, definitely check them out. Yeah, so I think I am going to go ahead and leave it here. Hopefully the rest of your Spooktober season is all well and good. Hopefully it's going well so far, and it's all well and good. So that's pretty awesome. I love Spooktober, man. It's such a great season. But like I said, that is going to be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.